great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of disease. Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode 985 of the Immigration Answer Show. We are trucking towards show 1000. Today is Tuesday, January 27th, 2026. I am here with my good friend, Skyla. Hello, Skyla. How are you? Hope you're doing well. I got everyone in the comments saying hello and giving blessings. I got Mohammed and Khaled and Ahmed and Titan and Teflon over in TikTok land. I might do some TikTok questions today. Khaled says, my wife, she's 46 and I'm 23. How is the officer going to see this case? Not good. Not good at all. They're going to think you're getting married just to get a green card. It's going to be a very, very tough case. KL says, lots of refusals in the Nairobi embassy. I'm sure that's true. All right. Well, I'm using some new lighting and a new camera. Let me know what you think. This is my on the road setup. I am on the 40th floor of the Westin in Manhattan, looking out at, I guess that's the Hudson River. Yes, that would be the Hudson River, where Captain Sully Sullenberger landed a plane in the middle of the river, if you can believe that. Have you guys seen that movie, Sully, with Tom Hanks? Very, very good movie. Very, very stressful. There's another pilot movie that I liked called Flight with Denzel. And that one is really hard to watch and really crazy. Both good movies. In the Denzel movie, he was an alcoholic and a pilot, and basically he pulled off a maneuver that if he were sober, he probably never could have pulled off. It was crazy. Julian says that the Sully movie was inaccurate in that the NTSB was sympathetic to Sully. Well, they had to make it dramatic. Come on, Julian. Yeah, there's a TV back there. Yes. I got everything set up, so I can't show you the river. Maybe I can show you with my phone later. We'll see. It's sort of gray and gloomy. There's ice in the river. I see a boat out there. It's very, very gray here. I'll just say that. Yeah, Flight's Denzel's movie. That was good. All right. I'm going to go ahead and say hi to Sarah. Hello, Sarah.
Hi, Jim. Thank you so much for taking me on actually. Answering my questions. So, my EAD card is expired and I have 60 days of being in the period if I want to transfer my record to another university. And also we already applied for I-485, but I haven't received the green card nor the EAD card. And I went to the DMV and they said that they cannot issue me a driver license because my card is already expired, but they can issue me AB60. And I was looking through the AB60 at the Google, and it seems that if you don't have a legal presence or legal status in United States, you can get AB60.
I have no idea what that is, and that's something of state law, so I don't know anything about that.
So I wasn't sure that if I should take that AB60 because already ICE is looking for people who doesn't have the legal status.
That's not going to change. That document, whatever it is, that will not affect ICE's opinion of you in any way.
So they cannot understand about that? I mean, notify.
No, they don't give a shit about it, is what I'm saying. It's not whether they don't understand it. They don't care. It doesn't impact what they're doing at all. Getting some ID from the state that you live in has no bearing on whether or not ICE can deport you or try to deport you.
Okay. I thought that maybe because I have that, it shows that I don't have a legal status. And
No, that's not legal status. That's documentation from a state that has nothing to do with your immigration status. It's a driver's license that is apparently based on, or it's a document for people who are out of status. That has nothing to do with whether or not ICE would honor that, which they wouldn't, or give it any weight whatsoever. LJ, marriage-based green card question. Hello.
Hey, good afternoon. How you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
Good. So I've been trying to get on the call with you for a long time. I always like watch your live and everything. Even when I miss them, I was like the back play. But I
Awesome.
was just trying to ask a question about financial. So originally I'm from Haiti. I came here when I was like 14. My mom bring me and my sister. My mom got we've been having TPS ever since we came 2020. And then 2021, she decided to stay, and we stayed, and we've been having TPS. And right now I'm like 19, and I live in Texas. And I got married, and my wife is in college, and so I had like some questions. She was like wondering, can she file like a green card petition for me? She
How old is
worked,
she?
but she doesn't make enough for the. Oh, she's 18, gonna be 19 too.
Okay. So she needs a co-sponsor. So yes, she can file for you, but she needs a co-sponsor.
Yeah, we have one, but they it was like, so we was gonna file taxes this year together. We got married last September, like 4 months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and we was gonna file taxes this year together, but her dad, I guess, wants to claim her since she lived with him almost the whole year. She didn't move out until I think November. And so, would that be a problem?
Not if you have lots of other marriage evidence. I mean, I would assume that for this year you'll file yourselves, but you guys are young, so I think that it probably doesn't matter either way if you have lots of other good evidence.
Cause we live together, like we live like the both of us in the apartment. And let me see, we got bank. We got like I got two bank account, checking and saving with her. That's my only bank, and she
And
have
do you use it? You both use the bank account? Do you have our marriage evidence
yes,
list? Do you have our marriage evidence list?
yes,
You have our list that we give to people about all the marriage evidence that you should have. That sounds like a
no,
it sounds like a little bit of evidence. It doesn't sound like a lot of evidence to me.
it's not really a lot because we still like we was waiting for taxes to fall so we could send a package,
How
and
long
my
have you been
lawyers,
how long
huh?
have you been together?
Like we've been together since 2023.
So that should be a lot of evidence, right?
And yes, sir.
So, I mean, do I think it's a deal breaker that mom and dad want to declare on the taxes? No, it seems understandable to me. But you're from Haiti. They're discriminating against people from Haiti. You're gonna sort of your TPS
Um,
is your TPS is running out, so you're gonna. I would say you have to prove your case like 1.5 times more than the regular person.
yes. And let me see. I think that's pretty much it for the taxes. It's no problem for that.
That's not what I said.
And
Is that what I said?
no, it's not much a problem.
Yeah, I said as long as you have lots of other evidence, it shouldn't be a
No,
problem.
yes, like car insurance
Everything.
and
David's from
everything.
people that know you. Yeah, you're both on the lease, all that stuff. Yep.
I think that's pretty much it. Thank you for accepting my call.
Good luck, brother.
Thanks.
All right, all right. Let's go to M. Hello, M.
Hello, sir.
Are you driving, M? I can't talk to you if you're
Yes.
driving. Yep.
Okay, let me pull over right now.
Okay. Be careful. Princess Lizzie's here. Hello,
Okay, you
Lizzie.
hear me now, sir?
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
Okay, so thank you for taking the call. I have
Sure.
a quick question. Thank you. And I recently applied for the naturalization and with a lawyer, and the lawyer kind of messed up on the like dates related to my case. I haven't had my interview yet, but when we applied, the lawyer wrote kind of like a legal brief, like a cover letter. It has
Yep.
like a few dates like messed up, like wrong dates, and this is not like nothing. You know, I I haven't seen it until like later. Like all other dates on the form were correct. Like the date when I got my green card and everything is correct on the actual in 400 form. But for the like the legal discussion or cover letter or something like that, it was by the lawyer, and it was like full of kind of like mistakes or errors or typos. So does this affect me in any way in even delaying my case or causing me any problems when I have my interview? And how can I address this? Like, should we submit kind of like a correct copy of the attorney letter,
What did
or
the lawyers say when you asked them why they made these mistakes?
I said it's not a big deal. We it's my kind of like my mistake, my statement, not your statement. So but I mean, I want to hear from you. I trust you a lot, and
Yeah.
I've been watching you as well.
I think that nobody at USCIS looks at cover letters very much.
Okay.
So I think that if everything is correct on the N400 itself, that's much, much more important than the cover letter. It might have confused them a little bit. It might, but I don't think officers spend much time, especially now that everything's electronic. I think they just pull up the N400 on their screen and get to work. I don't think they're going to worry about or notice discrepancies between the cover letter. I mean, it's unfortunate that happened, but I don't think you have to worry about it.
Should we kind of like provide a corrected letter at the interview?
Nope.
At least?
I wouldn't even bring it up. Nope.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. That's all. Thank you so much for what you're doing.
Good luck,
sir,
Em.
for all
I hope you
immigrants.
get your citizenship.
Hopefully, I will update you once I get it. Thank
That'd
you.
be great. See you, buddy. All right. And speaking of N400, we've been getting a lot of N400s. We've signed up a lot of N400 naturalization cases these last couple of weeks. N400 question. Hello.
Hey, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Good. Thanks for everything that you've done for the immigration community as a whole. Yeah, I have a couple of questions. So my first question was, is it too late to join the lawsuit?
Yep.
It is? Okay. And then two, I recently submitted my N400 from one of the 39 banned countries.
Okay.
And I have biometrics coming up here next week. But is it my understanding that, they're not able to currently to adjudicate on those cases?
That's my understanding. Yeah. That's
Okay.
what we're challenging in court. Yep.
Okay. And then would that also apply? So I have a pending I-751 as well. Would that also apply to that as well?
Yep.
Okay. So there's really nothing I can do even if I submitted like the I-751 in 2023 and it's still pending. Like, is there anything that I can do there?
You could sue, but I would say wait a little bit and see what happens with our lawsuit first.
Okay. All right. Well, perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks.
This is the Immigration Answer Show. I'm Jim Hacking here with my good friend Skyla. Now we're going to talk to Texas representative. Hello.
Hello, Jim. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, hi. How you doing today?
I'm well. How you doing?
I'm doing great, actually. Texas is kind of cold. You already know I'm from
New York's
Texas.
kind of cold too. Everything's cold. Yeah.
So yeah, I just got a quick question because let me just give you like a quick detailed background about my case. So I went to Texas on 2023 to an F1 visa, and currently studying in finance and real estate.
Okay.
And I'm also currently interning on a CPT as a financial analyst, investment analyst, as a small commercial real estate firm. And expecting to get a full-time offer once graduate, probably in end of 2026 of this year. Another thing is we also file a marriage case with my wife. She's also a green card holder. We met through school, to one of the student society group at school.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how we met, and as our love progressed, we decided that it's time, to file a marriage case.
Great.
And we went to the was it City Hall? Yeah, to
Mhm.
file our marriage case in March of 2025, this last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just have a couple of questions because um, I didn't even realize that her family, like her house, is pretty close from my house. Her mom is here, her dad is back home. Her dad's working on like wood furniture, but they do it more like retail, and my mom is more like manufacturing wood furniture. So I'm just wondering, like, when we have like an interview, would that cause a problem with for us as our parent is pretty close by?
No. No, I've had people get their green cards approved where the parents and the kids all still live together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
currently
that's
living with her mom right now.
what'd you say?
I'm currently living with her parent right now.
Yeah,
I'm
that
living with her
happens.
mom. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say that when you go to the interview, you probably want to bring an affidavit from mom, detailing how she knows you, how she sees you with her child, that you love her child, that you live together as spouses. And like, I would definitely bring an affidavit from mom because she's sort of an important witness. That's good evidence.
Okay.
People don't, most people in a fake marriage don't live with the mother of the U.S. citizen.
Okay.
So that's
Yeah.
good evidence.
Another thing is, as of right now, like, I'm living with her. I'm not paying the rent, but I'm helping her with paying the utility.
Yeah.
So we have this joint bank account, and it's taking out from our bank account,
Uh-huh.
but it's mostly my like me paying for it. Do I need to put my name in as like the utility account for the household? Because most of the time my wife, she does that. I don't really know how to, like, make the payment.
So it's out of an account that you and your spouse have together?
Yeah.
I think that just documentation of that you're paying the electric bill for the house, I think that's all you really need. If it's in mom's name because it's mom's house, I think that's understandable.
Okay. All right. Sounds good enough. Another question is that the health insurance right now, because I'm an international student, I have to get like a health insurance from school. And I kind of like passed my time to, like, file in to have the waiver for the health insurance, so like me and my wife can have like a health insurance package together. So the health insurance right now is gonna run to August, and after that we're planning to get a joint health insurance together. Would that be a problem right now, or 1 to 2 years of health insurance together should be enough?
I think that's one piece of the puzzle. You need as much evidence as you can get, and that's a fine piece of evidence. It's nothing big, but it's something.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think that's all that I have for today. Thank you so much for your help.
You got it. Have a good day. I was talking to Romel, who's in charge of our marketing, and Jose, who's in charge of our intake team today. And they told me that we've been getting a lot of calls for people who don't really want to hire us. They just want to talk about what if. So I want to spend a little bit of time talking about what if, because that's sort of what this show's about. The show probably could be called the What If Show. Now, my sister, growing up throughout our childhood, would ask what if questions like, what if we get hit by a big meteor, or what if this, or what if that? And I understand that there's a lot of anxiety right now, right? What if this, what if that? I get all that, right? To the extent that you can, I would say try not to play the what if game. I know it's easier for me to say big white guy, US citizen, all that stuff. I get that. But for your own mental health, I think catastrophizing, which is the word I would use for what my sister tends to do. Caro says, I keep eating and gaining weight, laugh out loud. What if? You can what if yourself to death, right? So, like here, how long will the 75 countries hold last? I don't know. Who knows? Who knows how long? I don't know. Can I go ahead with my I-130 since the visa has been paused? Yes, file it. Why wouldn't you? Keep going. Keep doing everything on your end so that the delay is only on their end. And again, with what if, I always come back to the serenity prayer. There's 3 parts to the serenity prayer, or 4. God is the first part. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. So there's things that I can't change, and I can't do anything about that. I can't do anything about when my green card interview is going to be, when my spousal visa interview is going to be. I can't control that. God, grant me a serenity to accept the things I cannot change. So there's things that I can't change. Help me find that serenity. The courage to change the things I can. The courage to change the things I can. We got to be brave right now, right? We got to be brave and do the things that we can do. Am I nervous about filing a lawsuit against the federal government? Yeah. Do I have to have courage to do it? Yeah. Do we have to have courage to go to our biometrics interviews? Sadly, yes. Do we have to have courage to go to our green card interviews? Sadly, yes. And here's the third part, the wisdom to know the difference. The wisdom to know the difference. That's, God, what we really want. What we really want is the wisdom to know what are the things I can change, what are the things I can't change. Serenity now, George would say. Yes, George Costanza would say. Serenity now. All right. I think there's somebody here named Pickle Juice, and I think I need to talk to them right now. Hello, Pickle Juice.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
So I just have a general question. I have a friend who overstayed his visa and has been here for a while, and just taxes. He never paid the taxes, and we hear all that. Illegal immigrants, they don't pay taxes and all that. So how does he supposed to do that? Like he's doing a marriage right now, marriage-based adjustments of status, I think he said.
Yeah. So he has to talk to an accountant and pay his back taxes.
Does it absolutely need it?
Well, they probably won't give him his green card if he hasn't been paying his taxes.
Okay. All right. So all the people do that, right? Everybody, all the immigrants do that?
I would say that historically it hasn't been something that they focus on, but I bet it's going to be something they focus on now. If that makes sense.
Does make sense, yeah. So he just needs to hire somebody, right? Like accountant, you said?
Yeah.
Back taxes. Okay, got it. All right. Thank you very much.
Have a good day. Overthinker, hello. What if?
Hello.
Hi.
I can hear you. Can you add me back later, please?
Oh, yep. Anthony, hello. Anthony, are you there? Oh, Anthony's not coming through. Let's go to Iceman. Hello.
Hello, Jim. Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
So I'm just calling to follow up with a question I previously asked.
A question you previously asked and then you cut out.
Can you hear me?
You cut out for a minute. Go ahead.
Okay, so I contacted the HRO in my former school. I have a little bit of a lengthy work history. There was this job I applied for during the summer. I didn't work there. I declined the job after they gave me a job in another department in the same school. But right now, the work history that the HRO sent to me, that particular job is also there, and they assume. So I contacted the HRO to ask if I can add it to my work history. They said yes. So I'm asking you to know if I should add it or not.
What are you applying for?
I-485.
You're applying for a green card based on marriage or something else?
EB2, NIW.
And you're saying that before you didn't list it and now you want to list it, this job that you had?
I'm currently reviewing my form, the I-485.
Okay.
And you know, in the form, it's not like a 5-year work history, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the one that it gave to me here now has like a job that I declined. I didn't work there, so I don't know if I should add it or not.
No, you didn't work there.
Okay. Then the second question is about my speeding ticket. I have the citation, but I don't have like the payment receipt. So should I go to the county office to collect any proof of payment or court document, or the citation document is enough?
No, you need to get proof of payment.
Okay. Then my last question is sometime early last year, I got a payment from IRS, $1,400. They said that they computed my tax. I don't know what that means. And then 6 months later, they said that the refund I got was in error. Mm-hmm. And they asked me to pay back. Mm-hmm. I did attempted to pay back, but somehow I just forgot about it. But I was willing to pay. It's not like I abandoned it. So by December 22, 2025, they sent me like a final notice that I should pay immediately. Otherwise, there will be some penalty and all that. So I actually currently now have paid the payment, but it's still showing pending on my IRS portal. So I'm hoping on submitting my I-485 soon. So do you think I should wait till when it's fully a process, or I can go ahead and submit it?
I wouldn't wait for that. No. So, I mean, what you're saying is, Jim, the IRS sent me a tax refund check. I cashed it. Then later they told me they wanted me to pay it back. So I did. And they're still processing it. That's the situation?
Yes.
So the question that they ask at your green card interview is, do you owe any overdue federal, state, or local taxes? And you can say no because you paid them back. So no, I don't think you have to.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Bye, Iceman.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody. Donna's here. Big ups to all the yardies. How you doing, Donna? Hope you're doing well. Patricia says, Jim, thank you for wearing so many hats for this audience, not just immigration. Oh, my pleasure. And Premi says, my wife is the what if final boss. I love that. I think my sister might be the what if final boss, but we could give him a race. All right. Ivan, hello.
Hi, Jim. How you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you. First of all, before I'll ask you the questions again, I want to thank you so much for what you're doing. And I do appreciate it. And I actually share a word about you as a great attorney, immigration attorney here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Thank you.
With friends of mine. So I have a few questions to ask you. And the one actually you did answer probably 6 months ago for me. I just want to kind of get an update when I get to the question to see if you have a similar situation. Maybe what would you recommend on that second question? But the first one, I have a friend who actually United for Ukraine, and they applied in March of 2025, which is 6 months before expiration date. And then in September it have expired, and then they received a letter from INS to go for biometrics, and they did go for biometrics. In sometimes end of October, they received an invoice for $1,000 to pay for that person for extension, and they paid $1,000. And now we are in January, and the lady asked me if I can ask you, can she go to work? What she should do? I mean, there's no sign. It says in pending online, and she's wondering how much longer she has to pay. They did take the money, and they didn't. She received the receipt as well from them, from INS.
I think they're being sued for that right now. So I think all she's doing is waiting.
Okay, so you would just keep waiting, right? Pretty much nothing else we can do, really.
I think that's all she can do.
Okay, got it. Well, thank you very much for answering that question. And the second question, again, I appreciate it. I just want to get your maybe a background to see if there's any changes to have changed to my situation. Now, I'm a U.S. citizen. I petitioned for my wife about 13 years ago. She came to U.S. and on a visitor's visa, and her visa have expired, and then she had a misrepresentation. And our attorney filed a waiver, and I petitioned for her, and we had an interview and with immigration officer that waiver was 100% approved, and we were 100% honest on misrepresentation, and we had a white card from the passport that she came through the border. Everything, even though that's been expired, but everything was approved. 2 weeks later, she received her green card. Now we are looking to apply for citizenship. She's been with the green card for 13 years now, and she just renewed it 2 years ago, green card. And I kind of wonder, what would you recommend? Can that waiver be somehow revoked, or maybe can they can come back and say, look, that shouldn't be even approved because of misrepresentation on the passport? Even again, we were being so honest. It was a hardship for me as a U.S. citizen. And the officer have granted the waiver 100%, and everything was on the table, clear as it could be.
I would say technically, yes, they could unravel everything. I think the chances of that are very, very low, very, very low. I don't think this is something you need to worry about, and I would apply for citizenship.
You would? Okay. And how can I contact, well, is that something you would be able to help me if you would? I mean, kind of wonder, because, the form is very relatively simple, but I wonder, what would you advise me? I mean, I would like to work with you, though.
Yeah, we'd love to do it. And the one thing we would do probably either before we file or at the time of filing is we would do a FOIA to try to get the old file to see what we can get out of USCIS from before. But yeah, this is something we could help with for sure. And Andrew's in Madison, so we handle cases in Milwaukee all the time.
Understood. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Kindly, I do appreciate it. And thank you again for what you're doing. I appreciate it.
Bye, Ivan. See you, buddy.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Mr. Tinton asked, do you have any offices in Minnesota? No, but immigration's federal. We handle stuff all over the country. And like I said, Andrew's in Madison, Wisconsin, so we handle stuff in Minnesota. My son is a junior at the University of Minnesota, so we're up there all the time. Always looking for a reason to come up to Minnesota, so we could help with that too. How are you guys doing? What's going on? I heard that Greg Bovino got sent back to El Centro. Is that what it's called? El Centro, California. He got sort of demoted. I think Christino might get fired soon. It's sort of a sad state of affairs when Mr. $50,000 in a bag of cash, Tom Homan, is the voice of reason. But I hate to say it, I think he sort of has been the voice of reason as it relates to how crazy Stephen Miller and Greg Bovino are, and Kristi Noem, so and Corey Lewandowski. So I think that interesting things are happening with ICE. I think sadly it took the death of a white man for America to wake up as much. Yes, they should be facing federal charges. Oh, Romel's wondering, who do I root for the Super Bowl this year? I don't really care. I probably root for the Seahawks. When I was a kid, I really liked Seattle. It's where when I was a kid and I threatened to run away from home, I always said I was going to Seattle. I like their old uniforms, and they've never won the Super Bowl before. And I hate the Patriots, and generally have a disdain for sports fans from Boston. So especially because the Patriots beat the Rams when they were here, and the Red Sox broke their streak of losing against the Cardinals in 2004. So I'll be rooting for Seattle, but I don't really care. But thank you, Romel. All right. Pending case. Hello.
Hi, Jim.
How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Thank you so much for all what you do and for accepting my call. So I'll just do a quick rundown on my case. So I actually came as F1.
Okay.
And then after a year, got married. And before applying on my F1 or DS-160, I had included my previous spouse on it.
Here we go. Yep. Okay.
She was my domestic partner. So I try to be honest and mention that I had a domestic relationship. But then when I came to the U.S., things changed, and I got married after a
Wait,
year.
time out.
Yeah.
So you were not legally married back home?
No, I wasn't.
What country is this?
That's one of the 17 countries that was just added to the list.
The 17? I don't know about the 17. There was 19, then there was 20, then there was 75.
Yeah, 19 rather. Sorry, 19.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So so to be clear, even though you weren't married to that lady, you listed them as a spouse on your DS-160, and then they gave you the visit visa. Fair to
I
say?
included as a domestic partner
There's
because
not a space for domestic partner on there.
it has married, unmarried, and domestic relationship or domestic partnership.
Are you sure? I don't
Yeah,
think so.
I'm
Okay.
positive.
Okay.
Yeah, because they have married option, they have a domestic partnership. So since we were not married, so I selected domestic partnership. And then when I came here after a year, got married, went for interview, they brought up the DS-160 form that was filled
Okay.
earlier. Yeah. So the interview was actually very good because the lady asked me about it, and then I told her that this person and I were in a relationship. We were doing everything together, but then things changed, and she has gone her way, and I've gone my way. She said, "Well, okay, that's fine." So after that interview, but something I'm missing out. Before the interview, I had applied for the I-765. It got approved in less than a month, and then my case got denied. Let's say it got denied in April, and then in May I got a request for interview. So after the interview, that was when during the interview, that was when they brought up that incident with my previous relationship, and that was it. But since then, there has been no communication. What's your thought on this?
So what did they say? Did they say what happened to the domestic partnership? Did they grill you on it? What was the deal?
There was no confirmation to agreement. They only asked me what happened to this person. I said, well, we were living in the same community. She was my partner, and we're doing things together, but we are no longer. Then the lady asked, were you guys married? I said, no, we're never married. We're just co-partners and doing everything together.
Okay. I'll just say this. I've never heard of somebody referencing a legal or a domestic partnership on a DS-160. In my whole life, I haven't heard of that coming up. I think they're going to think that you were married and that you needed a divorce. And I think they're going to sit on your I-130 because they think that something needed to happen back home to end whatever the domestic partnership was. I think they're going to think you were actually married.
Okay. That's all the question from my end. And so in that case, what can I do? Do I keep waiting or do I make further inquiries? Because I have evidence that my current wife and I, we are doing things in common. We have everything together.
But that doesn't matter. If you weren't legally free to marry your current spouse, you could have the most amazing, wonderful, beautiful, strongest marriage of all time, and it doesn't matter.
So, do you have an idea of how long do you think they're going to sit on that? Because I guess they are doing some check back home to see whether I was married there, which is not the case.
If I were you, I would hire an attorney back home to document your whole marriage status and to brief the issue of whether or not that constitutes a valid marriage or partnership that you needed to annul or end before you married the U.S. citizen.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you, Jen. Appreciate it.
Bye. Yeah. Nick, hello.
Hi, Jim. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, so I'm here in the US on a NATO 2 visa. I'm not sure if you've dealt with them much. I'm married to a US.
What kind of visa?
NATO 2, N2.
No, I've never worked on an N2 visa.
Okay, so it's just because of my role here, but I'm married to a US citizen.
Mm-hmm.
I've been married for 10 years, and we've applied for the I-485, 130, 175, and 131, as well as forms 508 and 566.
Yep.
Just wondering, it's been about 5 months, and I've not really heard anything other than biometrics. And I'm just wondering if you think that my role here in the US, they'll wait until that's finished, until they issue any further updates.
No. If you have an interview, what field office would it be at?
Nashville.
Oh, so not particularly busy, but also they're probably not very. I mean, DC, they see this kind of stuff all the time, like A's and N's, I guess.
Probably not. No.
Yeah. So they're probably just confused and don't know what to do.
Okay.
So the confused mind takes no action. So I would say if you hit about a year, then you probably need to think about starting to beat the bushes.
Okay. That makes sense.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks.
Bye, buddy. Forgot green card in the U.S. Oh, okay. Hello.
Hello, Jim.
Hi.
I can hear you.
You can't hear me?
Let me see.
You can't hear me? Hello? It's been happening every now and then. It's always like right around the halfway mark. Overthinker, are you ready now?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question for my friend. So I'm sorry if you need details and she's not hearing me, so I might not know.
We'll just do general. We'll just do general questions.
Yes, correct. So she came and filed for asylum, and then she got her interview. And I don't know what happens when people go to the interview, but I guess they didn't deny it, but after like she had to go to court for the next one. I don't know. And then in that wait for that court, she she met a citizen, they had a relationship, she got married, and she filed for an I-130.
Okay.
She has a lawyer too. And then while waiting for the I-130, she had to go to court for the asylum. And then so
You have a lawyer?
yeah, with the lawyer, I guess.
Okay.
She went with the lawyer, and then they went to withdraw the asylum case. Because she was like, she had a pending I-130, and okay, so they withdraw it. And then she wants to know if she can file for the I-485, because I have kind of a similar case, but I never had my asylum interview. And when I did my green card process, I submitted my I-130 and I-485 at the same time. So because I was hearing that was faster. But her, I'm telling her, try to file your I-485 so you don't have to wait for the I-130. But she tells me that her lawyer doesn't want to do it. Like he's telling her that she can file both. They have to wait for the I-130. But I already have my green card at this point.
All right, let's forget about you. What happened in your case has no relevance to her.
Right. Case. Yeah, but I just want to know if it's because of the she had to go to court and all of that, or if she can actually file the I-485.
Okay. So when you said she dismissed or withdrew the asylum case, she would have been in court when that happened, right?
Right. So
do you know if the court terminated her removal proceedings or not?
No, I don't know that part.
Okay, that's the most important question, because either USCIS has jurisdiction to give her a green card, or the court has jurisdiction to give her the green card. If she's still under the jurisdiction of the immigration court, then most likely she can't get a green card at USCIS until she gets her proceedings terminated at USCIS. Does that make sense?
Yes, right.
That's the big question. That's the most important thing.
Okay, so I guess no I-485. She has to figure that out.
Well, I mean, she could file a 485 in court, or she can try to terminate proceedings and file a 485 with USCIS. Does the court know that she hasn't approved I-130?
No, it's not approved yet.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. And now she's also from one of the banned countries.
That sucks.
Yep.
Thanks for the call.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. US, hello.
Hello, hi. Am I audible?
Yes. Hello.
Yeah. Hello, hi. Just want to ask a quick question. I submitted my I-140 in somewhere in November, and my PERM was expiring towards the end of November. I got being rejected by USCIS because of a payment issue. The account number last digit was incorrect.
Why did you
So
wait so long
we,
to file it?
yeah, so we submitted it
But why did you
again.
wait so long to file it?
No. We got a notice somewhere in December. Yeah, okay. This one because of my employer, so it took some time. But where we are, I just need to seek your expert opinion on this. That we submitted again from attorney to USCIS. Now USCIS has sent us back that please submit a valid PERM.
Yeah, that sounds right. You
Yeah.
guys fucked it up. Yep. That
So
was really
now
stupid.
So now the thing is, if we submit with premium processing, will this help us? Because the amount was always there. It was just a one account number, one digit issue. The last digit was incorrect. That's it.
Are you in status or are you out of status?
Out of status.
Yeah, you can't adjust.
No, I can't adjust. I'm outside USA.
You're outside the USA.
Yeah.
So you have to do a new PERM. Your PERM has
Mm.
expired, right?
Yes, but it was when it was first submitted. It was valid within the valid tail.
You did not submit it. You actually did not submit it. It did not get submitted because you guys waited till the last minute to file it, and you put the wrong account number in. So it was not submitted while the PERM was valid. So the PERM is no longer valid.
Okay.
So you're
is there any? But is there anything we can explain in the cover letter or something they can accept it or such cases? Because
the PERM is expired. There's not a time machine. You guys messed it up. Again, you waited till the last minute to file the I-140 and you didn't do it right. Which is why you don't wait till the last minute to file your I-140. You don't wait till the PERM's about to expire.
Okay. And is there anything in this or no? That's it. It's dead.
Start over. That's it.
Okay.
That PERM is dead. DEA dead. DEAD dead. Go bury it in the backyard. It's dead.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Thank you.
I-751, hello.
Hi, Jim. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I have two questions. First, I have a 2-year conditional green card, and I'll be filing my I-751 on October of this year. So I want to know what should I do if I get an interview when my husband is in military duty out of the country.
We've had that happen before. Well, are you going to apply for citizenship?
No, I'll be applying for my 10-year green card and then wait a year, then file for my N400.
Right. So we're worrying about something that might not even happen, is what you're telling me.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, I'm not sure because I do have a lot of good evidence. I don't think I'm gonna get an interview because we didn't got any interview for the 2-year green card. But still, I want to know, before my husband go away.
Yeah. So I would say that it's approvable.
Okay.
But mostly the officers are going to want to at least talk to them. Maybe he can call in, but generally, they're going to want the spouse to be there. I would say 97% of people who file 751s are getting an interview.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
I don't think you can count on not getting an interview, is what I'm saying.
okay. So what if I get some document from his military or a written?
Well, you can do right. Yep.
Can I do that?
Yeah, but they have to be nice. They might not be nice. We don't know what they're going to do. Were you in status when you got married the first time?
Yes. Yeah. Everything. We had like very good and clean case. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen.
Okay.
Yeah. So the second thing, I find out that my country is banned. So do you think that's gonna hurt my I-751 when I
Okay.
file it?
So earlier I was talking about what if stuff. You don't even have the thing on file. Let's wait and see what happens. Let's not worry about all this stuff that may not ever happen. Just do the next right thing, which is file your 751 on the first day you're available, and then go from there.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Awesome. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Tortuga says, you can be a little nicer when you answer. Yeah, I probably could, but I get sick of answering the same questions over and over, Tortuga. That's and sometimes people do really dumb things like wait till the last minute to file their cases when they know they're up against the deadline. It sounds like it was an employer, not him, so maybe I should have been nicer. You're right. All right, let's see if Forgot Green Card can hear me. Hello, Forgot Green Card.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you so much, Jim, for taking my call. This call is actually, I'm also an immigrant, I'm a green card holder, but this call is for a great friend of mine.
Okay.
She has a I-571 file. She received the letter extending her, I think, her green card privileges, let's say. But she traveled back to Brazil and forgot her green card in the US.
Where is it?
It's in Arizona.
But
It's
where?
in the US.
Who has it?
She tried to mail it via UPS, but the UPS couldn't mail it. They are asking for some commercial, they are asking for some requirements for a broker. They cannot mail this kind of document. And do you know what to do in this kind of case? Like, should we go with like a FedEx or?
Yeah, just why run into UPS yelling with your head cut off? Hey, I've got my sister's green card. I'm trying to send it to her in Brazil. That's silly. Just insure it, make sure it gets there, and ship it.
Okay, so just regular ship it via like let's try FedEx maybe. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Jim.
That was
Appreciate
easy.
your time. Yeah. Thank you.
Safest thing would be, hey, anybody going to Brazil, can you bring this to them? That would be best. I've seen that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Adjustment or counselor processing. Hello.
Hello, Jim. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm great. So, Jim, I was talking to my fiancée before I came to the States. We started talking online on August. Then after that, I came on B1, B2 visa. I came in November, and I'm almost like about to be here in the States for 3 months. We were planning to get married in my home country, Egypt. And while we were planning to do that and the papers to marry in my home country, my country was put on the 75 country pause list. So right now we're wondering which is the safest thing that we can do, because like we've read that we can't marry here within 90 days or even after, because there's something called presumption of intent, something like that. So we're
Well,
not sure what we're gonna do.
What was your intent when you came to the United States? Were you planning to get married?
Like we were so at the beginning she told me like, okay, we have to meet physical face to face first and then decide. And I used to come to the States every once a year for a vacation, 2 months or something. So it's like maybe the 12th time in the States.
But you didn't answer my question. So my question was, when you entered the United States, did you have the intention of getting married and filing for a green card? Based on what you told me, I would say the answer to that question is no. Right? That wasn't your plan.
No, it wasn't my plan, because like we had to know each other first, like, and see each other, so we don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
And
So
then
you're
like
right.
after we saw each other and said that's fine, we decided to go to. Okay.
Can we talk for a minute?
Yeah, sure.
So if you go to USCIS and answer questions like this, they're going to get you. So when I ask you a question, or if somebody else asks you a question, you need to answer the question that's asked and not say all this other stuff that doesn't matter, right? So my question was it your intention when you entered the United States to come on this trip, get married, stay here, and apply for a green card? based on everything you've told me so far, that was not your intention. What your intention
No,
was.
no, it was not. Yeah, it was not like that. So I entered. I
Stop,
stayed
stop.
Okay.
Then say no. Don't. That's my whole point for everybody listening. Don't go into a big explanation. Just answer the question. The question was, what was your plan? Because that's the whole key to your whole case, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you and she wanted to meet face to face. You and she wanted to
Yeah.
see if this was the kind of thing you wanted to get married. You had a round trip ticket. You were going to get married in Egypt. You came here first, and the plan was to get married in Egypt. Then these guys came out with this crazy ban of 75 countries. And to me, that's the perfect justification for changing our mind, for making a different decision, for getting married and applying for a green card right here. Because if I go back to Misr, I'm not going to be coming back for 2, 3, or 4 years.
Exactly. Yeah. And also, Jim, like we had the papers from the Egyptian embassy that they require for marriage in Egypt. So I can also submit that as a document that I didn't have the intent to get married here. So would that help me?
I think you have a lot in your favor based on the outline you gave me and the facts and the steps that you took to get married in Egypt and not here. And then to me, the 75 country ban is, no pun intended, the ultimate trump card. You say, the reason I did it is because you fools changed the rules. And I wasn't going to get my green card probably until Trump left office. So only a fool would go back to Egypt. Of course I stayed here and got married because we wanted to be together. And you guys changed the rules unfairly.
Okay.
So let's try it again. When did you enter the United States?
I entered on 11th of November.
And what was the purpose of your visit?
Vacation and the medical conference. I attended the conference and stayed 2 weeks. Then she invited me for Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year in Louisiana. So I went to her, and then we started dating for about 1.5 or 2 months. Then I left back to New York because that's where I arrived. And while I was back in New York, we were finishing some papers from the Egyptian embassy to get married in Egypt and so on. And then she just came today in the morning because she was supposed to stay with me for my birthday. So she just came here for 1 week and attend my birthday with me. Yeah, so that's the sequence.
And last week they added Egypt to the list. And so since we're freaked out that I'm not going to be able to come back until there's a new president, we decided to go ahead and get married and apply for our green card now. Does that make sense? That's part of your story.
Okay, that's make a lot of sense.
Yeah, if you need help, let us know. We do this all the time.
Yeah. I need help regarding that, Jim. Also, Jim, I was have other question because when I was listening to your podcast, you said the best evidence for marriage, bona fide marriage, is that to have children. But what if there is a medical cause? It's bona fide, it's bona fide 100%. We even had plans to live together in Egypt, even not in the States. But there is a medical reason that hysterectomy. So how can
you might recall that what I said was I thought that marriage is the babies are the most important thing, but other people disabused me of that and said it's financial commingling. So you can win a case certainly without ever having any kids. That's for sure.
So the medical record can waive that. Got you. Yeah, and I will need that help with that, Jim. Please, if you can help us, will be great.
Skylar will reach out to you today or first thing tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jim.
Where are you from in Egypt?
I'm from Giza.
Giza,
next to Cairo.
So, have you been to New Giza?
New Giza, just once because my brother is studying there. His university, New Giza University. So
Yeah,
I
my
just
kid.
been there one
You
time.
know, my wife is
Yeah.
from Mansour. You know that, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So when we went to Egypt and we went to New Giza, we went to visit our rich friend who there's like this compound in New Giza. It's like an American city. Like there's grass and
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. The compounds there are really, really good.
Yeah.
Like right now, yeah, they are making it so good. Yep.
Have a great day.
So yeah.
We'll talk soon, okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Okay.
bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Jim. Bye
Bye.
bye.
All right. Julian says, my husband and I don't have a child, and many same-sex couples don't. I think we can improve the bona fides of our relationship. Sure can. All right, Mr. Ruiz, hello.
Hello. Can you hear me, Jim?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Perfect. Yes, I do hear you well. Thank you so much for taking my call.
You bet.
So I have a situation here. So I've been here in the United States for over 20 years, since 2005. I have 3 children, U.S. citizens, with 2 previous relationships. I have been married to a U.S. citizen for about 8+ years, and
Okay.
I was wondering. So it's all being. So I did try to do obtain my or go through my immigration status to correct it through family petition. I have never sent in any applications or anything. I tried to hire a lawyer a few years back, who only make me take just do my biometrics to obtain my FOIA, and that was about it. I never nothing else went through, nothing else was followed through. So we and also for lack of funds back in the day, so I stopped pursuing my immigration status. So my question is now, because of the situation and how all the immigration laws have changed in the last couple of years or last year from now, um, if it is worth it for me to start trying to do my immigration to fix it now, wait a little bit, or I just would like to know where to start also. What do I need to do? And of course, I would like to work with you or someone from your team to see if you can help me.
So since you didn't bring it up, I'm going to guess, did you enter without inspection or did you have a visa?
No inspection.
Yeah. Okay, that's why you haven't started. Okay, and so as we sit here right now, ICE doesn't, and USCIS don't really know that you're here.
Not ever since the very first time when I tried to come here. I was caught through immigration. I was sent back to Mexico. I never. They do like in when my FOIA came back. There's a report of that when that happened with exact date and time. This is about 20 plus years ago.
Wait, so you entered, you got caught, you got sent back, then you re-entered.
I did.
Yeah, no, you should not raise your hand. You should not apply for anything.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. What will be the best way for me to try to start to do something, or suggest I just keep it low for now?
You probably have a permanent bar, which is a big problem, and it would make it hard for you to get any immigration benefits.
Okay. So that means that if I do, I probably will have to start, like me leaving the country. Let's say I go to Mexico, and then would that change anything for any family petition for me to be in Mexico?
Well, no. I mean, you still have all the same problems. You have that permanent bar, whether you're here or you're in the if you're here or back home in Mexico.
Okay. Even though it has been quite some time, 20 years plus.
It could be 50. That doesn't matter.
Okay. What would be the best option for me to be able to start anything?
Have a different president?
No. So wait 3 years plus, I guess.
At least. Yeah, this is not the time to fly.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, that answered a lot of my concerns. Thank you so much for taking my call.
I wish there was more we could do. If you guys haven't seen it, on Saturday Night Live on the Weekend Update, that guy Marcelo did a thing about all the Gen Z phrases that old people mess up, like chopped and all this other stuff. It was really, really funny. Check it out from last Saturday's Weekend Update. It was really funny. Ruffles, hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can.
Hi, Jim. Thanks so much for everything. I have a question. I need your opinion. My best friend started the process to, I guess, so her husband is a DACA recipient, been married since 2018, 2019. They're worried about inadmissibility. And so she gave me a list of questions. So they filed the I-130 and they submitted bank statements, but they're worried about a purchase that shows up in one of the many bank statements they submitted. And they're wondering, like, how closely do the powers that be look at the evidence that is submitted?
These days, they look at everything.
They're looking at everything in detail.
But let's back up. So this person, you said they had DACA?
Yes, DACA to a U.S. citizen.
And was the DACA after a valid entry into the United States or coming across the border?
Valid entry.
And what's the purchase that we're worried about?
It was a online seller that sells mushrooms.
Oh.
But the name of the store isn't, it like comes up as like a boutique or like a small cottage store type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they dig that deep.
I guess that they were like freaked out that, oh, they'll be able to track our information, our banking and routing or debit card information. But yeah, it doesn't, that's not even the name of like the purchase.
Mm-hmm. I think that's unlikely.
Thank you for that. Everything else, I mean, they don't have any criminal records, criminal history at all. They're also worried about.
I would assume that their use of mushrooms or any other hallucinogens or anything else was legal in the states in which it occurred.
Not exactly.
So that's a problem. So then there's have you ever committed a crime or offense for which you've not been arrested?
Right. And that's what they're worried about. But it happened so long ago that
the second case in a row has brought up the so long ago defense. The so long ago defense doesn't fly.
Right.
For most things.
Okay. So I mean, in their situation, would you recommend them moving to a different state to file?
Oh, I think it matters whether it was legal at the time it was bought. Not is it legal now that is it now legal in the state in which you live, right?
I see. Okay.
In other words, you can't fix it by moving to a different state.
Right. Okay. They have another question. So let me see here. Back in 2019, the DACA recipient lost their job because they were drug tested. And I guess they're wondering, like, and that's the thing. Apparently let me see, the HR person did not know, they noted other circumstances for being let go.
So the person failed the drug test and then they let them quit or something.
Right. They were let go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that HR person had a very friendly relationship with the employee. So
they bought shrooms together.
No, I don't think that was.
I'm teasing. Yeah. No. So in other words, it's not documented that was the reason why. I mean, so funny. We're talking about what ifs earlier. I mean, this is stuff. I mean, no criminal record, lost a job for drugs, but documented for a different reason. I just think they have to be really careful how they answer all the questions on the 45. That's the biggest problem.
Oh, can you maybe share a little bit more? What do you mean?
Yeah, I would say that the 45, when I started doing immigration, was 4 pages long, and the questions went all the way across the form. Now it's 22 pages and they're split down the middle. So it's really like 44 pages of questions. And I would say there's probably 3 or 4 landmines in there that, if they answer yes, could keep them from getting a green card. I'm not telling them not to answer yes. I'm telling them to tell the truth, but I'm just saying that's what I mean.
Understandable. Okay. Let me see if I'm not missing any questions. I guess the last one here. I guess they're worried about the Palantir and the higher powers again, that the overseers. How do you know what those effects are of this new technology are on all the reviews, all the cases that are being submitted?
I would say that most people are I think that's an excellent question, and most people are underestimating the scope of what Palantir is able to tap into. Whether it would tap into the things that you're asking me about, I don't think so. But I've been surprised at some of the things that officers have been able to mention as being able to reference while we're sitting there in an interview. Like exponential, not linear.
Exponential, meaning like back years ago.
Yeah, like what they've been able to gain access to hasn't gone along little by little. It's gone big.
What would you recommend to this couple to hold off on adjustment?
Well, I would say to go through the 45 very, very carefully and see if answering yes to any of those questions would prevent them from, or would make them disclose things that make them scared. And if so, I mean, you have to balance things. The person has DACA, which isn't much. And the other question we have to ask is, if we disclose stuff now on the 45 and didn't disclose it on DACA, then we have misrepresentation problems. So it's a bit of a mess. Does that make sense?
Yeah. We all renewed. We were all reviewing what DACA asks, and there's not really a mention of, did you commit a crime that you were not? There's no mention of that. And so I think
that you're right about that. So that might be their saving grace.
And I think that's where they're frustrated, because had they known this information, I think when you're dealing with people who are coming in very young and they're unaware of what guidelines they're supposed to be kind of abiding by, they're very frustrated. They don't really know how to move forward.
I understand. It's a tough call.
Any other tips you might share with them?
Don't file without a lawyer.
Got it.
All right.
Got it. Perfect.
Thanks, Ruffles.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Hey, it wouldn't be New York City if you couldn't hear the sirens. Oh, and I'm up on the 40th floor. You can hear the sirens. What the heck? Hoping possibly. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, hi. I don't know if you can hear me. I can't hear you again, but I'm from the UK. I've got I-130 approved.
Okay.
But my kids got dropped off because my partner had green card before and I became a US citizen. So what I want to know is what's the possibility of us the kids now getting I-130 with my current one approved?
You got to start all over. If your spouse became a U.S. citizen, then they need their own I-130. Yeah, he can't hear me. Tony said, what day am I seeing Wicked? I don't ever need to see Wicked again, Tony. I love The Wizard of Oz. I love everything about it. I don't need to see Wicked again. Actually, I'm not seeing a show. I thought about seeing a show, but I'm having dinner with my buddy tonight, and then I'm leaving tomorrow, so I'm not here that long. There's some shows coming that I wouldn't mind seeing. They're going to do a play version of Dog Day Afternoon, which is a great Al Pacino movie with John Bernthal and Cousin from The Bear. I would love to see that. So, but I don't need to see Wicked anymore. Amani and Ibrahim just saw it in London, and he'd never seen it. He saw the first movie, but not the second one. So Nope, I'm in and out. See my buddy Jim tonight, and then I'm out. All right. CR1 guidance. Hello.
Hey there.
Hi.
Thanks for having me.
Sure.
So, my partner and I have been together for a couple years. We used to live together as grad students, and then we graduated, and she went back to her home country. We are planning on getting married soon here in the U.S. She currently has a B1, B2. So we were going to get married, but she has to go back to work. We were just trying to make sure that we're kind of tracking and following all the rules, that we can't get married on the B1, B2. She'll go back to her home country. And then we start filing the I-130, I believe.
Sure. So what's the question?
Yeah, the question is, because we aren't living together, is there certain things that we should do to make a more solid case, since we don't have like shared utilities and things like that?
Yeah, no, they understand that for newlywed couples where the spouse is overseas, that you're going to have a lot of different evidence than the couple that's living in the same town, living in the same house, and able to generate all these bills and everything else. So it sounds like you have a good history together as students. So I would focus on, this is going to be one where you're demonstrating the relationship more than anything else, and then showing that you're validly married. And then after you file, you'll want to keep supplementing it with new stuff, like if you go to see her or those kinds of things.
Okay, yeah, I'm tracking. Yeah, thank you for that. And then also to clarify, it kind of seems like once we submit the I-130, she really can't come visit here anymore. Just out of the risk that,
yeah, the way I would frame it is, once she files the I-130, she's then the spouse of a U.S. citizen, and entering the United States might be more difficult.
Okay.
In theory, she could come right through, as long as she's always honest and open about it. But that if they ask her, they might then say, oh, well, we think you're jumping the line. And I mean, if I'm her, I would say, no, I'm not. If I wanted to do that, I would have just stayed the first time, as evidenced by the fact that I left. That shows good faith on my part, and you should let me back in to see my husband for this little visit that I have planned. But you're always running the risk of getting sent back and having to buy a ticket at the last minute for the full price.
Gotcha, I see. So it would kind of just depend on the officer, like you said. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. And then also once we file the I-130, just making sure, since she'll be overseas, it then it gets approved by the visa center, but then she has to go to the consulate in her home country. Am I understanding that process right?
So there's three parts. You guys get married, she goes home, you file the I-130 petition. That's going to be pending at USCIS for probably 14 to 16 months. Then it gets approved and it gets sent to the National Visa Center. Then you do processing there, and it takes 4 to 6 months to get them happy. Then you're waiting in line for an interview at the embassy, and that could be anywhere from 2 months to 2 years, depending on which country it is.
Okay, yeah, that's helpful. Cool. Well, I don't want to take up any more of your time, but thank you for clarifying things for us.
You got it. Yep. Tiago, if you turn off your camera, I'll call you up next. Here we go. Tiago, hello.
Hey, Jim, how's it going?
No camera. I'm good, bud. How you doing?
All right, sounds good. Hey, Jim, thanks so much for taking the call. I just have a couple of questions for you. So I am going through the removal of conditions of my green card. And I was just wondering if I apologize if you already answered this question 1,000 times. My country was one of the in the list of banned countries. So does that have any effect to the removal of conditions on my green card?
Just that you have to wait longer. Which ban are you subject to?
It was the one that Brazil was part of recently.
Yeah. So no, for stuff in the United States, as of right now, that 75 country ban doesn't apply to what we're talking about.
Okay. So no delays because of that, you think?
Unless they're doing it in secret and not telling us, which I think they did for 6 months before it became public for other countries.
Okay. The second question is, I already have planned to travel internationally this year to Europe and to visit my family. Do you think it's a bad idea?
I'm not answering that question. I don't answer that question anymore. My answer is, if you're not a U.S. citizen, you shouldn't leave the United States.
Okay. And then the last question is, I think I'll be eligible to apply for citizenship based on the 3-year rule in next year. Do you think do you still recommend doing that, even though the condition is pending? Okay.
Absolutely. We didn't used to not, but now that's the thing that'll actually get the 751 moving.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. That's
Bye,
all.
buddy. Yep. Yep. K1 questions. Hello. Hello, K1 questions. You were on mute, but now we can't hear you. Hello. We'll try to come back. See if we can fix your sound. Shan is here. Hello, Shan.
Hey, Jen, how are you?
What's up?
I'm good. Well, not good, but good.
Good to be talking to me. I gotcha.
So I have a couple questions. So I'm facing removal, but I have no criminal record. I was just going about my day. I was picked up by ICE. I'm a military spouse, came here in an F1 visa. Um, I was bonded out within 3 weeks of being in detention, $10,000 bond.
Wow.
But I went to my UCIS interview. Interview went pretty well. They didn't approve my I-130 or I-485. UCIS, 6 months later, they did a home visit. I was home. My husband was home. We are in separate room because he's going through a lot right now. He snores loud. I get up at 4 in the morning to go to work, which we explained to them. They were okay. They took pictures. They left. Do you think I should try to go ahead and file a motion to terminate with the court, or?
So, oh, hold on. Someone's knocking at the door. I'll be right back. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Hi. No, I'm okay.
You're okay?
Yeah.
Power, water?
Yeah, I'm all good.
Everything.
Thank
Is
you.
someone service you today?
I don't know. I just checked it.
Oh, you just checked in? Oh, okay,
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. So how long were you out? How long were you out of status when you filed the I-130?
I was out of status for 2 years.
And
I filed before getting picked up by ICE.
when did the I-130 get filed?
2024 December.
And so you and your spouse were both home at the time that the I-130, at the time that they came to visit, right?
Correct. I was like walking in with groceries and they were leaving. They just had spoke to him.
And so then you talked to them too.
Correct.
And you showed them around and they saw the 2 bedrooms.
Correct.
If you can, tell me, how do you think that all went, that interaction with him?
I think they were pretty respectful and everything. The only thing they were really concerned about was why we have 2 separate bedrooms, which my husband explained and I explained to them. He snores pretty loud. I wake up early. He's in the military, the schedule and everything. And yeah,
Have either of you been married before?
no, we've never.
So
We've been married for 2 years too.
the site visit, was that after you got picked up by ICE or before?
After. I got picked up by ICE last year, March, and then my interview was July of last year, and the home visit was last week, Thursday.
Last week.
What
field office?
Charleston.
That's a crazy case. Okay.
So I was wondering if because I'm in removal, they're trying to like find a reason to deny me.
Yeah, probably, or they just want to make sure that it's legit. I would say that if a month or 2 goes by from that site visit, let's say 60 days, at that point, your I-130 will have been pending almost 2 years, about 1 year and 9 months. I would sue them on the I-130.
Really?
You need to-
Also, my husband is getting deployed in March, which he mentioned to them, and they confirmed that with me. So
I might sue them sooner then. I mean, you've waited plenty long to sue them, and they're playing games with the I-130. You need that I-130 to try to stop from being deported. When's your next deportation court date?
July. this year.
I'd hire us to sue them if I were you.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I set up a consultation with you.
Yeah. We'll Queen Skyla will reach out. We'll reach out to you tomorrow morning. Okay.
Because my lawyer, she didn't want to go ahead and terminate the I-130 because she was like, she wanted approved first before she tried to terminate anything with the court.
I think that's smart.
Yeah, that's what she was saying. But I'm at like the third lawyer in one firm, but this new lawyer is saying that she want to go ahead and try to terminate now. So I don't know.
No, get that I-130. I don't think most judges won't terminate if the I-130 is not approved.
Yeah.
Even with it's approved, you have a fight on your hands.
But I have no criminal record, nothing. So I don't know.
How does your husband come across?
He's clean, no criminal record, nothing.
But how does he come across? Like, how was he doing talking about the marriage before you showed up from the grocery store?
So he said they interrogated him a little, asked him if the marriage was contracted, real, just asked about stuff like if anyone else lived here with us. Like he said everything went pretty well, so he doesn't see like why they shouldn't.
I forgot to ask you this, or maybe you mentioned it. Did you have an I-130 interview at USCIS?
Yes, they did interview me for both I-130 and I-485.
And that was after you got picked up or before?
After I got picked up.
And did they separate you and your spouse at the USCIS interview?
They did.
And did the officer who interviewed you at the USCIS office come to your house, or was it different people?
Different people.
Okay. I mean, they've unlimited budget now to do this kind of stuff, so I think they're going to sit on your case until you sue them.
Really? Yeah, because I've been like sending case inquiry, everything, nothing. They're like, you're in process, normal processing time.
Yeah, that's
it was December 2024 I filed.
Yeah, you got to sue them. Thanks, Shan.
Okay, thank you so much. I hope you guys contact me. You have a good day.
All right, we will for sure. You too have a good day. All right, everybody, that'll do it for today's show. We'll be back tomorrow. It's going to be Tony's favorite show. Tomorrow will be an airport show. I'll have time to kill after my interview at the airport before I fly back, fingers crossed, to St. Louis. I hope you guys all have a great night, and I'll be back in business tomorrow. Have a good night. Thanks for being here. Bye, guys. I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.